Hello and welcome to TreeWalker Talks, episode 103, Mental Overload. First off, it is May 25th. It is 10:15 p.m. and that is right, it is Memorial Day, so I take my hat off to all of those who gave the final sacrifice and sacrificed the most for our freedoms were allowed. So, I'm kind of thought that over, and that's what's kind of also making me lean towards what I'm doing here, but okay, let's start off with the homestead happenings. Did get a 3-day weekend, which was nice. Didn't get quite as much done as I wanted to. Been a little under the weather, and mainly all day today, I just went ahead and took a kind of a lull day. I watched a movie, Thunderbolts, the Marvel movie, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good movie. But beyond that, I really didn't do a whole lot today. But it was a good day. You need those down days, right? And let's see. So, during the week, what did we do? I did take recycling over. I had 2 truckfuls of recycling because the people in my household decide that they need lots and lots of Amazon, so we get lots and lots of Amazon boxes. Also, plastics, that sort of stuff. But I did take recycling over. I did have a storage unit, and decided that I'm not using it as much as I thought I would, and I looked at it, so I brought the stuff back, put it in my garage until I can get my man cave / shed worked out and storage out there, and I'll get it out there. But that's saving me a little bit of money a month, so I think that was a good thing to get done. Outside, I got plants watered, chickens fed. I really wanted to get the chicken coop done, revamped and done, but I went out yesterday and I had the motivation and the energy to do it yesterday, but we got a couple inches of rain and the whole backyard is just flooded and nasty, and I just didn't do it. So instead, I kind of also worked on, and a lot of you don't know this, I have another persona I use that is Lunatar, and I do a lot with, well, not as much as I want to, but do a lot with tabletop role-playing games. And so I worked on that a little bit this weekend, too. I've got a module I need to get out. It's the final in a 6-module series. I want to get it out, get it done. But this one's going to be just banging. It's lots of maps, lots of stuff to do, a little town along with it. It's a lot to get done. I think I have 52 maps to make. I've got the full-size map done, but 52 maps of that dungeon, and I've got 5 done. So they do take a little while. I already sat down and kind of made up the plan of what each room's going to look like and that, so then I just have to work it out in visual. But enough of that. Okay, so plants are doing good. Didn't make it to the nursery. I'll probably do that next weekend and get some onion sets and maybe a couple things to fill in. Like I didn't get any kohlrabi started, so I'd like to get some kohlrabi going. It's been a long time since I had those. But I think that's about all that's been going on outside. Like I said, kind of a slow week. A lot of work, a lot of just tired. Sinuses are bad. Motivation's low. And that kind of leads us into what could be causing it. Well, is it mental overload? And this is not a political thing at all. I stay away from all politics. I try to with this podcast and the things I do on my channel. But I saw something online and it made me think of this, and it was kind of describing things that you shouldn't care about. And I don't know about not caring about it, but before all this recent stuff happened, kids graduating from school, none of them even really knew what Ukraine was. They didn't know where Ukraine is on a map. Like I said, they didn't know Ukraine existed. And I bet you most of them couldn't find the Middle East. They couldn't find Iran. And I know this because of my daughters that went through school, and they're just not teaching world geography. They'd be lucky to know where Germany and stuff is. And I'm not saying that that's a horrible thing. With everything going on in Iran and the things going on in Ukraine, what can you do to change those? We're fed this stuff from the media about good things, bad things, things going on, things that aren't going on, all of that stuff. And don't you think it's a little overwhelming? I mean, I don't think we were meant to know all of this stuff. What can you really do to change what's going on in Ukraine or Iran right now? Not much. I mean, you could go protest, you can go do this, you can do that, but what's it really going to change? But maybe instead of mental overload on all the things going on in the world, maybe we should stop and look at what can I change locally, not globally. Locally, here, where you're at, your small town areas, if you're in a big town, maybe your church, maybe just your school, maybe FFA, 4-H, something like that. Go and look and see what you can do to make that better. So then tomorrow's adults, the people who are growing up right now, maybe you'll have a sense of morals, a sense of what's right and what's wrong, and be able to take care of themselves so we're not dependent upon these evil governments. And yeah, I'll let you know this on politics. I don't like either side of our government. It's just horrible. All politics seem to be horrible right now. Even the local ones aren't great. I live in a medium-sized town. It's decent-sized town. And they're putting all sorts of stuff into the laws that make it so that they can act it for emergency. You know, what can I do about that? I could maybe change some of that. You know, at least there, my vote would count, and I could put somebody else in who maybe thinks more like I do locally. But I'm thinking even more, just stay away from the politic part altogether, and let's just try to make people's lives better so we don't get this mental overload. Let's try to make our lives better, our kids' lives better, their kids' lives better. Let's stop looking at the global picture and let's look here at home. Let's look around us. What can I do? Let's see, I grow vegetables. So, you know what? I've got neighbors. None of them grow gardens. Maybe I take over a little bit of my vegetables to them and let them taste what real carrots or real tomatoes or real squash or, the stuff that I grow that tastes good, that's really good, not the store-bought crap. And I'll say it, most of the stuff you buy in the store is mass-produced crap, made to make as quick as it can, as big as it can, and as tasteless as it can. Because they don't care the quality, they just want the quantity and how long it'll last on that shelf. So, maybe you can do the same. Or how's this? Let's say you started seeds like I did. I didn't do it as a grand scale this year. I've done it before. And you have tons and tons of extra seedlings. You know what? Harden them off outside, plant them up into like solo cups, and then give them away. Say, hey, neighbor, would you like to use this or have this to grow? You just put it in a pot out back and let it grow. And get them hooked into it. Because every person that grows their own food is a little more self-sufficient. And the government and the politicians and the world, it has less weight on you. You can, make your own food. You won't be going to the grocery store as much. Now, I'm not saying that everybody needs to be self-sufficient. That's not going to happen. It would be nice if we could all work together to be more self-sufficient. Like I've got chickens, and they're almost going to start laying here before too soon. I'm going to be getting quail. What if I trade some of the quail meat or some eggs for some milk that one of the people around here raise and get from their cows, or some beef, or maybe some pork. Maybe I'll trade it for some pork. That kind of stuff. Or maybe I start rabbits again, which I've thought about, but I don't think this year. But, I can trade that for things. Like, maybe I had a bad year for tomatoes, so I trade a couple rabbits, butchered rabbits, for a bushel of tomatoes or something. And now I can make sauce, and that person has rabbits when they needed it. Bring back the barter system. I don't know. Maybe this is just rambling. Maybe you're just like, yeah, he's gone off the deep end for this one. And I'm sorry I didn't get it on video, me doing things outside and that. But like I said, it was kind of a down day. I had planned on it, but it didn't work out. Okay, I'm going to stop rambling. I'm not preaching. I'm not doing that. I'm just trying to say let's all try to make things a little bit better around us. The things we can control. All right. Thanks for joining me, and I hope that you join me for the next one.